Steph Curry is the greatest shooter God has ever created.
Again, here's Curry for the record. It's good! Dort, a great defender at three. Curry sidestep, Curry drive, Curry flip, Curry good! We're 2-10 again!
You have a little fear, and not from like you're scared of a guy, but just not knowing what he's gonna do.
When he get out his car, you better guard him.
Steph is most dangerous when he doesn't have the ball.
I absolutely love that statement by LeBron James that you have to actually guard Steph Curry when he gets out of his car. Now, I've actually been following Steph Curry up here in the Bay Area for his entire career, and I can confidently tell you at this point, I thought I had actually seen everything I needed to see to actually say Steph Curry is the greatest point guard of all time, with apologies, of course, to Magic Johnson. But after watching Steph Curry actually in the Olympics, in the last 2:30 of that particular game, Steph Curry drained 4 3-pointers. It was the only time in over 1,100 games in Steph Curry's career that he's actually done that. Have we actually seen peak Steph Curry?
He can do it as long as he wants. Steph works so hard. He's in great shape, and he really just loves the game. He's extremely competitive, so I think Steph can do this until he's 40. I mean, his game is suited for it. He's not a power player. He's powerful, but he's obviously his game's based off more finesse, and he'll do it for as long as he wants.
So that was Klay Thompson from a couple years ago. Now, on today's Underrated Pod, we are going to talk about some help that hopefully the Golden State Warriors are actually going to get for Steph Curry now that they've actually given Steph Curry a $62.6 million contract extension. We are going to discuss what kind of help the Golden State Warriors should actually go out and get for the greatest point guard of all time.
This is Phoenix.
Who's harder to guard, Allen Iverson or Steph?
I'm guarding AI. I don't want to guard Steph.
Running around.
Because with AI, like, he had the ball, but if he gave it up, you know, right? If he gave it up, you,
yeah.
If when he gave it up, you're like, whoosh, thank you, Lord Jesus. Steph, there's ever no rest, right? He passed it, he's gone. Like you really, it's like guarding AI and Rip Hamilton at the same time, right?
What's up, North America, and welcome back to the Underrated Pod. I absolutely love that video from Gilbert Arenas actually talking about Allen Iverson and comparing him to Steph Curry. I think when you go back and you actually talk to or listen to some of the greats of the game, what they will ultimately tell you is that Steph Curry is fantastic when he doesn't actually have the basketball. Just listen to what LeBron James has to say.
The ball is not the problem with Steph Curry. He's the problem. Steph is most dangerous when he doesn't have the ball. Not many guys all time in our league that's most dangerous without the ball. I'm telling them, listen, guys, I've been in more than enough wars with those guys. More than enough. I understand it, so I get it. I come from a different point of view, POV. But when Steph decides to cut inside the lane, don't relax. He's coming back up. That's reps and reps and reps and reps of actually guarding something that's uncomfortable. Guarding Steph is uncomfortable. And the problem with our guys in our league, they're not comfortable with being uncomfortable.
I absolutely love hearing LeBron James talk about Steph Curry. I mean, he gives him his flowers. It's something that the national media at times throughout Steph Curry's career has actually struggled with. Now that the Golden State Warriors have added an extra year to Steph Curry's contract, both him and Draymond Green are under contract through the 2025-26 season, which actually gives the Golden State Warriors the opportunity now to actually go out and make at some point some additional deals. Now that Klay Thompson has left the building and has moved to the great state of Texas, where I'm sure he's enjoying some great beef brisket as we speak, the Golden State Warriors during the offseason actually brought in Buddy Hield, who is an excellent three-point shooter, as we all know. I mean, he's not Klay Thompson, but he is a very good three-point shooter. Kyle Anderson, who is one of the smartest basketball players in the NBA, if you will. He's sort of a Draymond Green super light. And then DeAnthony Milton, who is hot and cold all at the same time. Clearly, if the Golden State Warriors are actually going to do right by Steph Curry in the last 2 years of his career currently, as it stands, that's what it looks like, then they are actually going to have to go out and get Steph Curry some additional help. Now, the current players available for Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors include Zach LaVine. And personally, I love Zach LaVine's game. The big issue or the big knock on somebody like Zach LaVine is, can he stay healthy? And when you actually look at Zach LaVine's overall game, is he really a number two? I think Zach LaVine fits in actually better if you look at the Los Angeles Lakers roster than he would with the Golden State Warriors roster. Then there's Brandon Ingram, Jeremy Grant, and Jarrett Allen, all of which certainly would be good additions to this Golden State Warrior team. But beyond that, there isn't a lot out there as we sort of head into the start of this upcoming season. So what we're probably looking at is a trade deadline deal for the Golden State Warriors to bring somebody else in that could actually really help Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors go all the way. Now, one of the names that I'm sure Steve Kerr would absolutely like to have on this Golden State Warriors team is Devin Booker. I mean, who wouldn't want to have Devin Booker on their team, especially after watching Devin Booker play in the Olympics? If you will, Devin Booker was truly the MVP throughout the actual Olympics and the run-up to the Olympics for the USA basketball team. You need him to shoot threes, he does it. You need him to drive, he does it. You need him to take a couple minutes off, he does it. Devin Booker was absolutely the complete player for the USA basketball team. Now, it's hard for me to imagine that the Phoenix Suns are actually going to blow everything up and allow Devin Booker to end up with the Golden State Warriors, but that certainly would be the best option, if you will, for Steph Curry and the brand of basketball that Steph Curry plays. Remember, Steph Curry is best without the basketball, and a player that like a Devin Booker actually matches Steph Curry the most, if you will. He is a somewhat younger version of a Klay Thompson. Now, there's always been talk about Giannis, and there's been a bunch of talk about Lauri Markkanen and some other bigs actually joining the Golden State Warriors as well. And that certainly could happen at some point. But if you want to talk about who is the ideal player at this point in their career to play alongside the great Steph Curry, the correct answer to that question is Devin Booker. All right, North America, I want to know what you think. What are your thoughts on this? Hey, if you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet to the Underrated Pod, please go ahead and do so. 1 million plus views. Please go ahead and like and, of course, subscribe to the channel. For the Underrated Pod, I am Dave DeBaugh, wishing you all a tremendous rest of your sports viewing day. To the new music, we go.
This is Phoenix.